Hello everyone, Mr. Opinionated here, and welcome back to a brand new DVD video. And today we're going to be talking about the Triangle Man, also Dorito features, also Tasty Toblerone. Oh, you could just call him Pyramid Head, like what his name suggests. So we're going to talk about like a review slash ranking, and we're going to talk about like his power, a little bit of his add-ons, his perks, and just everything about him from what I've played. So I played him for like 3 days straight, right? Like a good 4 hours each day, taking breaks, and you know, constantly playing him. And what do I think? Well, first off, he's so much fun to play as, and I love playing a iconic gaming horror character, which he is. I know some people under the age of 15 don't understand how important this character is, but it's fine. Educate yourselves or play Silent Hill 2. But anyway, and he's not from the films either. This is not from the films. He's not from the films. This is a different Pyramid Head. That Pyramid Head is different from this one, alright? Alright. Just to get your facts right. Because it annoys me when people say that. Oh, I didn't think the movie was that cool. How is he an iconic horror character? Blah blah blah. It's from the game. Uneducated swines. Anyway, so I needed to get that out of my system. So what do I think of him? I think he's a lot of fun. But I don't think he's overpowered at all. In fact, I think he's suffering from new killer syndrome, which basically a lot of people just assume he's overpowerful because they look at his stuff and go, holy shit, that is powerful. On paper, it is. But in execution, you know, get it because he's the executioner? I'll stop. It's not as strong as people think. And I'll explain why. So, he has a power called Rights of Judgment, where he can create trenches, and anyone going over these trenches get tormented. And tormented, if you're tormented, then that's when he becomes extremely strong. Because he can, when he gets you down, he can just simply send you a cage, not bother picking you up and putting you on a hook. He just put you in the cage and blah blah blah. And then if you on your last hook and you're tormented, he can just like quickly kill you, not bother picking you up, and just get on with the rest of the game. Now, there are so many benefits to this, like DS, Unbreakable, Borrowed Time, We're Gonna Live Forever. All of these perks, as some of them matter, are not gonna work. If you got, I got DS, he has to pick me up and I'm gonna DS him. Nope, you're tormented. Off you go into a cage. You say someone out of the cage with Borrowed Time. Haha, you'll be protected. Nope, gotcha bitch, I'm gonna tunnel him. You know, like things like that are gonna happen with Pyramid Head, and it's a great benefit to be tormented. It cuts down hooking people and wasting time, and so you can just focus on hunting the rest of the survivors. However, if you play in red ranks, you'll notice that what the Fang just did, even though that she was going to go for the save, she dodged it. This could be still beneficial though, because they'll dodge the torment, and they would rather do that than be tormented, which makes sense. But at the same time, red rank people know how to avoid trenches in general, like basically crouching like you would do with a hag trap, and go through the trench. It is quite easy to go through the trench and not get infected by it, which then affects the power of Pyramid Head. And as you saw before, I was using his power Punishment of the Damned, which basically is like an extension of his sword. This could go through walls. This could, like when someone drops a pallet, you could use it so they get trapped basically, and it's basically like a massive extension. And this is probably his golden, like the golden part of his power. Oh, side note, this is his Mori. I think it's definitely in the top 5, I must say. It's beautiful. Suck it. So, anyway, so Punishment of the Damned, it is a brilliant power. However, it does. My problem with it is that a lot of new people with Pyramid Head will overuse it, and this is a problem due to the fact that if you use it too many times, when you, like, say for example you're trying to mind game someone and they know how to dodge it, and you're trying to hit them and it takes what, 3 or 4 attempts, even 2 attempts, it still takes too long and you're wasting time. You're wasting very valuable time. Well, because you're not doing anything. You're being mind gamed. Like, you know, you're mind gaming yourself really. But like, use it only when you know that you can get a guaranteed hit. Sometimes, like, you'll get a cheeky hit every now and again, but a lot of survivors, especially in red ranks, will quickly learn how to counter it. It's similar to like Nurse, you know how you can like premeditate a blink? It's similar to that, but this is much more easier, I would say, to counter. And yeah, a lot of good survivors will predict where you're going to shoot your Punishment of the Damned. So it is still effective, but just don't overuse it, because I lost a lot of matches for me overusing it, because I was like, yeah, I just want to use his new power, yeah, cool. It's also very good for, like, if you got Save the Best to Last, for example, on Pyramid Head, it's really good, because then you could use it, use that to hit the Obsession without using your basic attack, and you can save your stacks. So you won't lose stacks if you use Punishment of the Damned. So that's a little quick tip if you've got Save the Best to Last. Most perks work well with him. I'm using Sloppy, Nurses and Ruin, and they did a fantastic job, but I wouldn't recommend Barbecue and Chili and Pop Goes the Weasel due to the fact that if you send someone to the Cage of Atonement, they are much less effective. His own personal perks, they're not that great. Force Penance, I'll go for each one. So Force Penance, survivors who take a protection hit are inflicted with the broken status effect for 40 to 50 to 60 seconds. Now, if Metal Man was used more, and if people were more confident with Cyclic Agent, I guess this perk would be really good. But it's not that great, because if someone takes a protection hit, fair enough, they're going to be broken status effect. But either way, you were probably going to go after them, or go for the person that you was going after originally. So it's very meh, very situational. And plus, I do think you get extra blood points for using this. I'm pretty sure when I was practicing with Pyramid Head and I was using this perk, I got extra blood points, and it was a very long sentence what I got. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, very meh. Trial the Torment. After kicking the generator, you become undetectable for 16 seconds. During this time, the generator's aura is revealed in yellow to all survivors. Trial the Torment can only be triggered once every 80 to 70 to 60 seconds. Now, originally this cooldown was ridiculously long, like extremely ridiculously long, so I'm glad that they've reduced it. At the same time though, the yellow aura, like, obviously if they're focusing on a gen, and you don't hear the bang, you only see that the generator revealed. It doesn't make a noise, it only shows you. So if you're not actually looking in that direction, and then Pyramid comes at you behind you and goes BAM! You know, in that sense, it can be effective, but at the same time, people do look around, like, all the time to see where the killer is, even if they don't see a heartbeat. So again, it's quite a meh perk. Probably will work much better in the lower ranks, but not in red ranks. And then we've got Deathbound, which is his best perk. Let's be honest. When a survivor heals another survivor for 1 health stat at least 32 meters away from the killer, the survivor performing the healing action will scream, revealing their location, and activating Deathbound for the next 60 seconds. During this time, the survivor will suffer from the Oblivious status effect when further than 16, 12, 8 meters away from the healed survivor. This perk is pretty good. It just gives you an indication where they are, and the scream, you get that notification. and it's a good like, aha, there they are. I thought where they went off, the little scamps. It puts a lot of pressure off, and with that oblivious status effect as well, it'll put people on edge. So it is generally an okay perk. I don't think I'll see it a lot, but you know, a lot of people will probably still like it and use it. So you got very meh to good, and to be fair, I think Cheryl's perks are better than Pyramid's Head perks when it comes to Out the Survivor and Out the Killer, but they're still good. Like, another thing about Torment as well, to go back to it quickly, as much as I said it's extremely strong, and it's only strong when you're tormented, have you noticed in this video that the cage, they go so far away from you? Now obviously that makes sense, right? And it is a benefit but a bit of a curse at the same time, due to the fact that when you send someone on the cage on the opposite side of the map, it gives an indication where the other survivors are, because if they get picked up quickly, you know straight away where the other survivors are, so you go straight over there. So you drag your heavy ass to where they uncaged her. The downside is sometimes when you're using this caging torment, it can be against you because they've got them out quickly, and by the time you get there, they've all healed and buggered off. Which again can be an issue. It does depend on which map, so it's not too much of a problem. But I remember watching one game where a Pyramid Head used a rights of judge. He would use he got someone tormented, and he caged them. And this was in the end game, and the cage went straight next to the Killer Shack, where the exit gate was. So that Pyramid Head literally fucked himself over, which was hilarious to watch. So just just because you got them tormented doesn't mean you have to cage them. And then obviously you saw a little bit early on in the video that one of the best parts about Torment is if they're on their death hook, you can just simply kill them there and then, and it's a quick little mini Mori which just wastes no time. It's slice, done, move on, which is it's like a cherry on top of a cake. So yeah, I think I've got everything covered. As I said, a lot of people were like, oh my god, this guy's so strong, I can't take it, blah blah blah. I think it does depend on what map with this guy, but good survivors will be able to dodge his rights of judgment, and punishment of the damned is good, don't get me wrong, but sometimes if you overuse it, you will lose that game, I guarantee it. So after playing him for 3 days straight, I'm gonna D-rank him, because initially I was gonna put him at like behind A class, like tier A. I think I'm gonna put him at the beginning of tier B, so B plus. This guy's a B plus. He's still really good and can be really strong, but with good survivors that know how to crouch with, you know, his rights of judgment, he only then has his punishment of the damned, which can be countered. If you're too predictable with it, they'll be laughing. As for his add-ons, I think the only good ones are the extensions of his punishment of the damned. The rest of them are okay, they're mediocre, but like, you know, it's one of them. Even these purple add-ons, which put on different effects like blindness and hemorrhage, they're not that super great, and his ultra add-ons are not bad. The aura reading on the one is alright, and the undetectable one, only on his own trenches though, it's good, but again it feels quite situational. What do you guys think of him anyway? Do you think he's good? Do you think he's bad? Do you think he's overpowered? Do you think he's useless? Let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Don't forget to share this out, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more DBD content. And yeah, future streams and future videos will come in plenty. So until then, guys, I've been Mr. Opinionated, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles! I'm not a piece of chocolate, Cheryl! Fuck you, you bitch!